This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey guys, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Wes, and this is Love and Luminol.
Yay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 2025.
And there's a blizzard outside, so we've been just kind of watching. We can't go anywhere.
No.
Travel thing, but
A state of emergency.
yeah. So they're getting hit pretty hard.
But as we said in the last book talk, here we are with bringing a new episode with the new year. We took a break for the holidays, for sicknesses, for trying to finish a remodel, trying to do birthdays, all kinds of stuff. So we said we'd be back for the new year. Here we are, first episode of 2025.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. It is kind of Christmas themed, so Christmas just passed, but
Yeah, we're late.
yeah. Too much stuff going. We planned to do episodes, but then we got too crazy, so.
Yep.
But, all right, you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Here we go.
So, book talk, we're still doing this book. It's a horror book. Dark Things. Probably another week, I say we both be done.
I'd say so. I'm like
We're
chapter
getting close.
30 right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm down in here, so we're about done. We'll review that, and then when we review this, I read this one on my own. It's book talk. Said smut, but wasn't a whole lot in it. Kind of a fantasy romance, Beauty and the Beast retelling thing. It wasn't really his cup of tea, so I read it while we were reading this one together, so.
I don't know how you do that.
As long as they're two different genres.
I don't know how you read two books at the same time. You'd be all into these characters, and then you get a whole separate set of characters, and then you go back to the other book, and you're like, where's John?
Oh, I got to. I can't do it if it's the same. Like, if it's like this romance and horror or smut and horror, it's fine. But if I do like two horrors or something.
I would be wondering where a character was. Like, I'd be like, wait a minute, whatever happened to John?
Yeah, ADHD.
No, he's in the other book. Like, I would have a
book.
problem doing that. I can't do that.
I did fine with it. So I guess I'll talk about this one when we do that one together in our book talk review. So
Yep.
wait for that one. Keep an eye out.
Speaking of books, I'm still writing the book that I'm doing. I'm almost done, actually, with the first draft. First 10 chapters are still available online. Feel free to read them. Let us know what you think. But I'm probably like 2/3 of the way done with the first draft of it, and then I'll go back and kind of edit and fix things that I don't like and whatnot. But it's going good.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Love and Luminol.
That's coming to a wrap up, I know.
Love and Luminol, based on a true crime podcast.
Based. But that's exciting. I can't think of anything else. That's about it.
No. We've just been busy.
Nothing too exciting, just crazy. Crazy life. But today's case is on a Lynda McDaniel. Heard of her?
No.
It's going to be a kind of a short one. It's an older case. Not old, but you know.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of info out there. Local, but we'll go through it real quick and get this ball rolling.
Alrighty.
So, Lynda McDaniel. This is Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
So, yep, Indiana case. That's a picture of her. It's kind of blurry. I did not whip out my fancy program this time. Bringing in the new year,
good, because she might have a third eye if you did.
Yeah. So, the picture's a little blurry, but, you know, it's okay.
The picture is what the picture
It
is.
didn't give her a third eye or mustache or nothing weird, so.
Yeah.
But that is Lynda McDaniel. She was 23 years old. She is the victim, of course. I got to clarify that now. Mm-hmm. You got
ahead
trouble.
of time, just so I don't say anything crazy.
We petty.
My God. You know who you are.
You know who you are. Victim, 23 years old. But I also saw somewhere that lists her as 32. Don't know if that's a dyslexia thing.
Okay.
23, 32. Based on her high school graduation date, I'm guessing 23.
Okay.
Unless she was like 28 when she graduated or something.
I mean, no judgment.
So I'm assuming 23 is more accurate. I
Okay.
couldn't find her birth date. So that's why I was like, well, I've seen source caller 32. 23 is what I'm guessing is correct.
Okay.
But she lives on a second floor apartment on Westlake Drive. So that's her apartment. Or was
Westlake
her apartment. Mm-hmm. Never heard of it. That looks more like a, what do they call it? Condominium or something? Where two people live in a house?
Townhouse, duplex,
Yeah.
something of that nature.
Yeah. It's not like a huge, it doesn't look like a huge building. It just looks like a house that's split into
What'd you say it was?
apartment.
Where?
Oh, Westlake Drive. It doesn't look like as much as an apartment as two different, like maybe 4 different living places. I don't know.
I think it's an apartment. It just
Possible.
has like 4 units in it.
I'm used to seeing these big buildings that have like 20 units or something. This one just looks like a little 4-unit house. So, you probably saw my cup move. We looked up the Westlake Drive to kind of see where it was. So, that was they're like, wow, her cup teleported.
It's like
Pause for research.
pause and bloop. The Mountain Dew's over here now.
He had pulled up maps to look up where this apartment was, and it was a place that was on the side of Indianapolis.
Yeah, it looks like
Said
it's
townhouse apartments.
the west side of Indy, it looks like.
Yep, so there was that. She was the first year elementary school teacher. So she taught elementary school, and that's her class photo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her.
Okay. How long ago was this?
Let's see, 77.
Okay. All right.
That's why I said it's been a hot minute,
I
but
was going to say, the hair and the glasses look 70s.
Yep. Yes. But first year elementary school teacher. I don't know how they do it. It's like a class full of young children. I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, I
So
could do it.
patience out the wazoo. Very proud first year elementary school teacher. She grew up on the west side of Indianapolis.
Okay.
Looks like, based on maps, she kind of stayed in that area, I think. But there's a picture of her as a kid.
Okay.
One of her school pictures from elementary. But her mother's name was Margaret, and her father was Lloyd White. They had different last names, so I don't know if her father was in the picture.
It's hard to
But
say.
her mother's last name wasn't listed from what I found, but her father was listed as Lloyd White. Her mother was a secretary at the school, too, that she worked at.
Okay.
She had a sister, Marty Daly, and Marty was also an elementary school teacher.
Wow. Family business.
So, yep, family in the education field there. She was retired but still worked with a tutoring program. So her sister was working as a tutoring program. She was a teacher. Her mom was a secretary at the school. She's a teacher. So family business there.
Yeah.
And A's came very easily to Marty, but Lynda had to work a little harder for her good grades. So Marty was like easy test taker, easy learner, all those things. Lynda worked a little bit harder, but still a good student. She was in the National Honor Society. Oh, I was too. She played the bassoon.
Well, congratulations.
She played the bassoon.
Bassoon.
I don't know what that is. With the Ben Davis High School Band, and she graduated high school in 72.
All right.
That's why I said 72, 77, 23 sounds more than
Yeah.
32. That's what I said based on.
Mm-hmm.
But she went to Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis for teaching. Big Purdue. She kept her part-time job at Sears Automotive.
Well.
where she started her senior year of high school during college. She's kept that job through college, and she started it her senior year of high school.
Okay.
So that's good. She kept that job for a year after earning her degree, and as she still kept that job, she also worked as a substitute teacher. I guess kind of get her foot in the door. She's a substitute teacher, but she needed the income, so she kept her job at the automotive place until she landed a full-time teaching position for the 1977-78 school year at Maplewood Elementary School, first grade.
Wow.
So sad. She graduated, and this was her first teaching year as a full-time teacher. The year she passed, I know.
Wow.
But there is her picture, first and only picture of her grade. It's grade 1, Miss McDaniel. So there's her. Yeah, it's her first teaching year. She wanted to get married and have children. That was her life goal now. She got her career and stuff. Of course, she wanted to get married, have children, have her family. She was a magnet for lost souls, opening her home up to those in crisis. She's always helping somebody out. They need food, shelter, whatever. She's very friendly, wanted to help people.
That's probably where her downfall is.
You're like, that's where it happens. Yeah.
It always
People
is.
are jerks.
Yep.
But we're going to jump December 1st, or jump back to December 1st, 1977. And it was on a Thursday. And Lynda didn't show up for work. So school started, classes going, and there's no Miss McDaniel.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't show up, and that's not like her. She's usually there early, and so her absence caught attention very fast. Because usually she's there early, ready to go, set up. Kids come in, she's already got her day mostly started. So the principal called her apartment and got no answer. So he then called her aunt, Mary McClelland. And her aunt was 70 years old at the time. And her aunt was a retired principal of a school named after her, McClelland Elementary.
Wow.
So family full of educational people, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the family business.
Yeah, because her mom works as school sister. Her aunt had a school named after her. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely in the family. But her aunt also did not get an answer when she called. So Lynda's aunt came to the apartment to check on her after, she failed to show up to work and no one could get a hold of her.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to go check on her. So she knocked on the door but didn't get an answer. So she went to the office and got a maintenance man to let her in. And I'm like, I know nowadays it's kind of different, but back then you just like, can you let me in my niece's apartment? And he's like, all right.
Well, it depends.
Just let you in.
I mean, the maintenance or the apartment manager sometimes would let family in if it's like an emergency and they haven't heard from someone, or they're like, can we do a check? Now you would call the police and do like a what's it called, a wellness check?
Yeah.
But back then you would just pull up and say, hey,
Just let you in.
Yeah.
Let's just show different times, because now they're like, are you really her aunt? Like, how do we know you're...
It's true.
Back then they're like, can I get in my nieces? They're like, yeah, let's go ahead and get in. But that's why I was like, they just let her right in.
Mm-hmm.
But she got him to let her in, and that's when she found Lynda dead in the bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah, so her aunt's the one that found her. She was nude and kneeling over the bathtub. And another source, because I mentioned this because people were like, you're wrong. Another source, when I looked all this stuff up, said that she was only in her underwear. So one source said nude, one source said she was in her underwear.
Some conflicting stories on how she was found.
So I'm going to put them both out there in case someone knows for sure. But nude or in underwear, one of the two. And she was submerged in the water. So her head was in the water, of the tub. Her hands were bound behind her back with red Christmas ribbon.
Oh, wow.
Which is where Christmas comes into play. And there's a picture of the newspaper article with her apartment in the front. Teacher found.
Tied murder.
Yeah. And even that says 32. A 32-year-old West Side woman.
Well.
But she graduated high school in 72. And this was 77. That's why I'm like, 32?
Well,
or 23.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the graduating high school date is wrong.
Possible. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
that's why
that was college.
It's possible. That's why I put both ages out there. She was 23 or 32, one of the two.
I mean, the newspaper clipping says 32.
Yeah. And since I couldn't find her birth date, I don't. So I think it was Indianapolis Star or something said 23.
Yeah, Indianapolis Star is another news.
Yeah, they said 23. So that's
What's
why I
this
was
one?
like, I don't know where this one came from.
Should say right there. Well, that's where the photo is from.
The news something.
Yeah. I don't know. That's hard to say. I hate to give wrong information, but
I
that
know.
one's hard because two different newspapers have two different ages.
Yeah, that's why I put both ages out there. I'm not sure if she was 23 or 32. But this article has an arrow pointed to her apartment door, which would have been the top left side there.
Okay.
So that's her actual apartment, according to this newspaper. But like I said, 32, 23-year-old. Her head was submerged in about 8 inches of water. So the tub was filled with 8 inches of water. And she's bent over the side of the tub with her head in the water. And there's a dish towel shoved in her mouth.
Oh.
Yeah. So she had hands tied behind her back, dish towel was shoved in her mouth, and her head was put under the water. So it was, yeah. And her front door was locked from the inside with the bolt and chain. So she had one of those little chains that you slide in, and her front door was locked that way.
Huh.
So the maintenance guy had to actually snag the chain and stuff to get in, which it didn't say specifically how he got in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he busted, the door down, or if he figured out how to, I don't know, use a pencil or something and slide the chain out of the way. I don't know how he got in with the chain on the door, but the maintenance man let the Ann in somehow. So again, I don't know exactly if he kicked the door in, what he had to do, but
Yeah.
the police suspected the killer left out the back door. So I guess there's another exit somewhere.
Okay.
So they said leave out the back door, but it's hard to tell. Is this 2 apartments? You know what I'm saying?
I think those are 4 different apartments. I think
So the back door-
balconies on the bottom are the back of the bottoms, and the ones on the top, I think those are the front doors, and the back on the other side comes down. It has like balconies, like the other side, like the bottoms on this side. I could
Okay.
be wrong, but that's just a guess.
It's hard to say because I'm trying to figure out how there was a back door on this thing. Because normally or at least the second floor apartment
you
I
can't
had,
see
there's
the
just one
doors
door.
there on that. The doors have to be on the bottom floor there. The doors have to be on the other side of the building because those are like sliding glass doors.
Yeah. So it must have been.
So it's probably reversed on the top,
Okay. That's
which
why I
is
was
a
like,
weird
huh?
design, but
Yeah, because it said he left out the back door, and I was trying to think,
Yeah.
where's the back door going to be at? But the police suspect the killer left out the back door, which is why the front door had a chain and lock. So there's little signs of a struggle at the scene, despite clear evidence that there was a killer inside. Because someone's been inside. She was tied up, and
yeah, definitely.
but there was little to no evidence of a struggle or anything. The bathroom door was also locked. So they had to get in through the bathroom door as well. So the front door is chain locked, bathroom door was locked, she was in the bathroom. So I think that the killer locked the bathroom door as he left as well. He or she left. But no items were taken from the apartment. Lynda still had all her jewelry on her body. So she's still wearing her jewelry.
Yeah.
Her purse sat there undisturbed, wasn't dug through or dumped out or nothing. There was Christmas craft supplies covering the kitchen table. There was little like paper Christmas trees that Lynda was excited to be finishing up the night before when she talked to family. So she talked to some of her family on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and she was finishing up these little Christmas decorations for her classroom. So
Okay.
that was all over the table. The ribbon was suspected to have come from her kitchen table where she was making Christmas decorations for her class. So the ribbon she was tied up with, they suspected came from her craft table in the kitchen with all her classroom stuff. Because of that aspect of the crime, the suspect became known as the Christmas Ribbon Killer. Have you heard of that name?
I have not.
Oh, Christmas Ribbon Killer. Investigators described it as a murder staged to look like a drowning. But, I mean... it was a murder.
That's weird.
I know. And there's a picture of them taking her body out. This looks like a different door. I wonder if that's the other side. That looks like a front door on the bottom.
See? I'm telling you, it looks like there's two different... Yeah.
I think that's the other side in the bottom. But that's them wheeling her body out of there. There's no visible wounds except for a single bruise on her upper left arm. That was all she had, is a bruise. And police presume that would be a grip mark from the killer holding her down and stuff. But so no marks except that bruise. Her work clothes for the day was still hung neatly in the closet. There was little forensic evidence. They found fingerprints, but they led to nothing concrete. Because, this is the 70s, so...
Yeah.
Wasn't as advanced as now. Fingerprints is about, what they could get. But the autopsy determined the cause of death to be asphyxiation. So not drowning. She was dead before her head was put in the water. Yeah. So I don't know what the whole... I guess that's why they said staged to look like a drowning, because she was dead before she was put in the water.
Yeah.
So, which was a little weird, but there's no signs of sexual assault despite her being found, nude or in her wherever she was found.
Yeah.
Despite that, no signs of sexual assault. There was an uncooperative person of interest that was caught after the fact in a Kentucky prison, but that led to a dead end.
That's weird.
I know. I guess they had someone who had a person of interest, and he wasn't very cooperative, and they finally tracked him down. He was in a Kentucky prison, but that led to a dead end. Wasn't him. Eerily similar cold case happened in 1958. So there's a case with someone that was similar. Malvina Krutz. And I have that article. See in here, it says a 23-year-old school teacher. That's why I have, one says 32, one says 23. That's why I'm like, I don't know for sure.
Wow.
I know, but this is an article about a similar case where it said, what was her name? Malvina body was found by her estranged husband lying in the tub on her right side. She's wearing a white blouse covered with a white sweater. But they said it was an eerily similar case. Nothing was taken from this lady's home either. There was no sexual assault, no robbery. So they, she was knocked unconscious and then laid in the water to drown, this Maverna Krutz lady. So they saw similarities in those cases, but it led to another dead end. Nothing there, because of course that case is a cold case. A neighbor also saw a prowler or a peeping Tom that night, the night of Lynda's murder, around the area.
Yeah.
Also led to nothing. So that was another dead end. A couple of former boyfriends were suspects before they were ruled out. Police believe she was killed November 30th, so the night before, during the night. The night before her murder, she went on a disappointing blind date. So November 30th, that night, she went on a blind date. Or the night before her murder, so November 29th, I guess. She went on a disappointing blind date. Her date turned aggressive. Oh. She's kind of a creep, yeah. She never mentioned his name to anyone, but she did tell a friend that he tried to sexually assault her on their date. And she told the friend on the phone that evening that the man was coming over to apologize. So the bad date was the 29th. The next day, he was going to come over and apologize.
That's not sus.
Right? That's not. But her friend urged her not to let him in the apartment, considering, he's aggressive and attempted sexual assault and all that. She's like, you might not want to let him in.
Definitely not.
But she had lost souls thing. So she was always giving people,
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt, trying to help. But police couldn't decide if the man's advances were rebuffed, turning him violent, or if someone else saw an opportunity since Lynda lived alone. So they couldn't tell if it was him, if she, declined him and he got mad and came after her, or if just someone saw that there's this lady that lived alone and was watching her. So that's where police were like, they had different opportunities, I guess, different scenarios, but nothing they could pin concrete. And 3 years after the murder, the FBI developed a profile of the likely killer. So 3 years, nothing concrete, nothing really to go on. The FBI released a profile. And the profile said the killer was most likely a white male, 35 to 40 years old at the time of the murder, socially or occupationally associated with Lynda, married at the time of the murder and living with his family, but experiencing conflict with his wife. After the murder, he and his wife likely went to counseling, but later separated. He's possibly a military veteran. Prior to the crime, he was experiencing financial and marital distress. He didn't participate much in family activities. He spent a lot of time in bars. And after the crime and some counseling, drastically reduced alcohol consumption. Previously had been in her apartment. And prior to murder, no criminal history other than traffic tickets or public intoxication. That's pretty specific. It amazes me how they get that detailed. Like experiencing financial and marital distress. How do they get that from this crime? Blows my mind. But they had a pretty... they got his age. He's having marital conflicts. He's an alcoholic and spends time at the bars and doesn't do... I'm like, how do they get all that? But that was their profile they released. Try to help narrow this down. But the police even attempted hypnosis on several key witnesses years later to try to come up with anything useful because they didn't have nothing to go on. They said no forensic evidence, no fingerprints, nothing left behind that would help them. So they even went to hypnosis. But the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department Sergeant Bill Carter delved back into this case in 2014 because it was unsolved. He wanted items collected from the scene to be tested for DNA because they can do that now.
Yeah, didn't have that back then. So
no. Sergeant Bill also suspects a man Lynda worked with. There are gaps in his alibi, but at the time there was not enough evidence to arrest him. So his alibi was kind of fishy. And plus this profile said that he socially or occupationally associated with Lynda. And this was a guy that she worked with. But he passed away since then, but has children that could be tested to compare DNA from the scene. So even though he's passed, he has children that they can test to see if the DNA is matching. As far as an update, I haven't got anything since then, if they tested the children's DNA or not. This is still unsolved today. It's an unsolved case. They listed, Sergeant Bill Carter said if anyone knows anything or possibly knows someone who does, he lifted a number or he posted a number to contact. I'll give that number. 317-327-1270. Granted, this number was posted in 2014. I don't know if there's still a Sergeant Bill Carter there. If
not,
someone
it
else,
might be the number still to the police so that whoever has access to the case can still do it.
If you happen to hear anything or know anything, you can try that number and see. I just don't know if you ask for a Sergeant Bill Carter, if you get him. True. Because this number's it's been a while. It's been 10 years, 11 years. So yeah. However, I mentioned the sergeant's name in the police department in case. So if you call, it's Indianapolis Metropolitan. But that's it. That's all I got for Lynda McDaniel. Well, it's a sad case. It's unsolved, and it's just, I don't know. It's horrible. She's so young.
Yeah.
23, 32, still young. And just started her career and she wanted a family. And
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
horrible. So that's all I got. Thoughts out to her remaining family, friends. I'm assuming her aunt was 70 and 77, so I don't know. She would be 120 something today.
Yeah, so probably not.
So probably not. But she still has family. She has a sister and things, so I'm sure she still has family. Thoughts out to them. And if anybody's heard anything, like, doesn't hurt to call and turn it in. But it's still unsolved as to this day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all you got. I know. You're like,
Always leave me with one that don't have no...
Oh, well, yeah, starting the new year with an unsolved. So, but that's it. You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some comments on previous cases.
Okay. Some updates, maybe?
Yeah, let's see here. So on episode 38, Roy Lee Ward.
Oh, yeah, another local one.
Yep, there's two of them.
Oh.
Somebody on YouTube, let's see, what is that? Get No 88, but it's NGO. Get and Go 88. Yeah. This was a while ago. We might have mentioned this one before, but I'm going to go over it again because there's another one after it that kind of goes hand in hand. It says that Stacy was sunbathing and Roy spotted her from the highway, which is how she found her to begin with.
Mentioned. See, I don't know if I mentioned how he came to know her or not.
We didn't know how. We just thought it was weird that he just showed up at the door. And
he just randomly popped up. Yeah, that's...
and then Sarah Hayes 9906 9 days ago, which is why I brought this one up and kind of went back to the one that was like a month ago. This one's 9 days ago. It says, I went to school with Stacy and Melissa. My parents knew the officer that caught Roy. From my understanding, Roy watched the paint house from a hotel across the freeway from them. Now, if you put both of those things together, he was in the hotel across the freeway from their house, and then the other one says spotted her sunbathing from across the highway. So both of those kind of match. So that might be a good indication of what happened there.
So he must have been in the hotel across the street watching. Oh, it's creepy. It creeps you out.
Shout out to stage name 1031, says they just found our channel. Aww. Just made a comment on the Finley Bowden case, which was episode 28 quite a while ago. But people are going and checking those old ones, so thank you.
Thank you for checking us out.
Let's see here. A really old one, episode 16, Katie Coleman. Ooh. I remember that one.
Yeah, that was
really local, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really local.
It said, I was Katie's age when she was murdered. I lived just south of there in Clark County. I remember this case terrifying the living daylights out of me. Remember clearly hearing the Amber Alert and that police sketch that gives me the creeps to this day.
Yes.
And that is Billy Payne 3. Thank you for commenting.
Yes, it was very creepy.
Another one, Danya Jones. I remember this because the mother was very adamant trying to get justice for him and everything. She actually commented.
Oh.
The mother commented. She did say, I look for new things a lot about my son, just kind of browsing around. Yeah, it says there were things left out or added to this story. I'm not sure what she means, if she means we left things out or if the story in general is missing some information. Feel free to contact us, email us, give us some info. We'll update. Seriously, I think in the episode we even said if you happen to catch up on our episode. Yeah, because that
case was just...
Please let us know if there's any information we need to add. But I do see that
one needs looked at again.
Yeah. So thank you for commenting. Thank you for checking us out. I understand you're looking for things about your son. We'd be glad to give any information out you want out there.
Yes.
Let's see. Somebody made a random comment. What's his name? KT1PL2. Don't know who you are. Episode 53, Tiffany how did we pronounce that? Valiante.
Valiante.
That's right.
It's Italian, I think you said.
Thanks for commenting. But you said, I can see you have basically no subs, so here's a tip. I don't know.
Subscribers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're not trying this for subscribers. We just do this because we like it. She's a big true crime person, and she likes telling me stories, and I like messing with audio video equipment. So there. But they said, here's a tip. We don't want to hear you going on and on about nothing related to the case. We want to hear about the case. Okay.
True, but
that's fine.
I feel, yeah. And plus, like this case, if I jumped right in, it'd be like a 10-minute video.
And this isn't the only thing we have going on as well.
Yeah.
We talk about other things going on.
Talk,
so book talks
life.
and whatnot. There are plenty of other, just throwing this out there are plenty of other podcasts that are very, very popular that talk about a lot of other things going on besides the case that they're in. Might want to check Last Podcast on the Left. They do it a lot.
Yeah, they do.
They go on rants and chit chat a lot,
Yeah.
and they're very popular. So whether it's that or not, I don't really care. Thanks for the tip, but we do what we like to do.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Rachel F6D says, so sad about the episode 58, Marcia Gibson.
I can't remember. See, I've run through so many. Is that one with the overpass and the rocks?
I don't remember. I don't remember. It's older or not that old, but it's just we do so many. It's hard to remember all of them.
I think. I'm trying to look at the picture to see.
Yeah.
I think that may have been she was just driving to get her kids, and then someone threw a rock off the overpass.
Could be.
I think that was it. I don't remember exactly. Sorry if that's not the right case, but...
And the last two comments we got are from the really local one, Naomi Briner, the one who killed her kids in the house burned down
so sad.
in Madison. So we have two comments on here, but they kind of conflict, and they're both from family members.
Oh.
So Jesse Odell says, hi, I'm Danny's ex and his remaining daughter's mother. There is no conspiracy theory. She killed the kids herself, so stop. They lost a significant loss.
Yeah, they did.
So that is referring to when we did the episode, there was a connection to the correctional facilities. That we're not just making stuff up or saying that is. It's just their theories, things we were talking about during the episode. We weren't trying to say one way or another what it really was. It was just giving our opinions. Mm-hmm. But caveat, Edie Harding, they both commented. Both of these comments came about the same time. I just didn't notice it until now. But Edie Harding says, this is my cousin, and I believe 100% that it was a conspiracy theory. Look deeper. So you have two family members, one telling us to stop with the conspiracy theory idea, and the other one saying it definitely was. So just throwing that out there.
Regardless.
Again, it was just opinions during the case. We talk about what we think's going on.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's 100% what it is. It's just opinion, which we say at the very beginning of the episode that this is we do talk about our opinions.
And regardless of conspiracy theory or not, lives were lost. Children's lives were lost. That woman's lost her life. Horrible losses. Terribly sad. And that's what it boils down to, whether there's going to be different opinions on different cases. You're never going to... What's fact is someone's passed, and it was horrible. Yes.
And the kids dying is the saddest part of that story. But yeah, I just wanted to throw out the comments that we had. We're going back some of the comments we missed, so I just wanted to bring them up. But I remembered getting some new ones a few days ago, so I wanted to go over that, and I just figured I'd go down the list.
Well,
but so there you have it. If you have any comments or anything, please comment. As you can see, we go through them. We may not get them right away, but we do definitely go through them.
We've been busy.
Yeah. But feel free to like and subscribe. Go to loveandluminol.com where we have a list of all of our audio and video links to our podcast. It also has links to all our social media. We are at Love and Luminol everywhere except X. We are not on X. Mm-hmm. And, feel free to let us know what's going on. And like I said,
Yes.
to Danye's mother, please email us. Give us what we missed or what's going on or updates or anything, and we will gladly release that information on here.
Yeah. Case messed us up.
Yeah.
It was awful. But yeah, and all I got, thanks everybody for staying with us in this new, there's ladybugs flying around. Staying with us in the new year, continuing to listen. Stay safe, be nice. It doesn't cost you a thing to not be an asshole.
True.
Just be nice to people. Take care. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.